today's business community. It's a dog-eat-dog world and only the strong survive. The challenge is navigating the ever-changing business environment to put your business in the forefront. So how does your business keep up with the changes? That's where She's the Boss Network comes in. She's the Boss Network is an internet media network that's been helping businesses like yours get the exposure that you're looking for at reasonable cost by way of radio and video. They'll help you stay successful by navigating change and seeing the big picture. After She's the Boss Network analyzes your business and marketing strategies, you'll start to see a media presence like you've never seen in your business before. And She's the Boss Network doesn't stop there. They use their findings to create a practical plan of action, a plan that will get your business from where you are to where you need to be. There you go. Lock those dogs up for good by giving She's the Boss Network a call at 866-494-5945, extension 101, or by checking their website at she'sthebossradio.com. Again, that's 866-494-5945, extension 101, or she'sthebossradio.com.
Hey, I'm Jenny James for Neatly Done Carpet Cleaner. You've probably been home a lot more. Maybe you have kids like me who spill all the time, and you've noticed that your carpet's not looking so good. Why don't you call Neatly Done Carpet Cleaner? They use a dry extraction service, so you won't have wet carpet all day long, and you can get back to doing the things you love with your family immediately. And it's a way to make your room healthier while improving your indoor air quality. You can do tile, slate, granite, ceramic, area rugs, and yes, they're pet friendly too. Why don't you get a free, no obligation estimate today? NeatlyDoneSanAntonio.com.
She's the boss. Radio Network.
Good evening, everyone, and welcome to She's the Boss Radio Network. 24 hours, 7 days a week, focus on topics to build, strengthen, inspire, as well as motivate men, women, and youth from the homes to the conference rooms and around our communities. I am your host, Lakita, along with my fabulous co-host.
Good evening, everyone, and I'm your co-host, Pam. How y'all doing out there tonight?
And you are getting unboxed. We thank you for tuning into the show, and as always, we invite you to be a part of the show by calling us at 443-272-5922 or joining us at www.she'sthebossradio.com or listen to us on all of our social media platforms or audio platforms. That's tunein.com, Google, Alexa, and Siri by saying, hey, play She's the Boss Radio, Shoutcast. Follow us on Facebook at She's the Boss Radio. Follow us on Twitter at She's the Boss Radio without the O. IG, we're WSTBRN. Twitch and Tumblr, we're WSTBR. I was laughing because in the beginning I was going to say from the homes, the apartments, and the I don't know where that came from. That just popped up in my head. That's funny.
It doesn't matter where you are.
That's right. Like, it doesn't matter. Even if you're in an apartment, you can follow us. You can follow us there also. That was good.
You could be anywhere now. You know, like I said, with the internet link, you can tap right on in.
Just tap right, Pam, right? Just tap right on in. So how was your day, Pam?
Oh, my day was pretty good. I would say, like I said, I got, things accomplished as I wished to get accomplished. We kind of talked about that, how we can do things and, how we prioritize and, what we feel is important. Sometimes you have to carve out stuff. So, again, I had a really productive day. So I always call that a really nice, just a little bonus on top.
Yes. I'm so glad that you said that because we did talk about that last week. We talked about, creating little milestones and goals for ourselves. And even when we get to those things, still be excited that you accomplished something, like a piece of it or a part of it. And it's really funny that you should say that because I literally felt like I fell back in time a little bit, right? Only because, like I said last week, I was talking about how I started working on the project for the enterprise site. And so it was really, really interesting to me because I remember initially when we first did it, way back when, I'll never forget it, sitting in the basement. It was like, oh, Pam, I figured out how to do the website. And that was for the radio side. And then later on, I figured out how to do the enterprise side. And it just seemed like it took a lifetime for me to complete it. And so it was good because I was like nose down, I was doing it like, I was eating, breathing, and sleeping it. And so finally I got it up to a place where it worked some, but it to me never met the full capacity of what it could do. I just felt like it could do so much more. It never really got to where I would have liked to have seen it. And so when I had a web developer look at it and he's like, and now this was 2000, this is 2022, last year. And he's like, it's a little antiquated. You might want to update it. And I'm thinking to myself, no, I'm just gonna hold on to it. You know how hard I worked on this. Like, sometimes we just don't want to let stuff go. It's like, no, it's like having a closet full of clothes or a closet full of old shoes, and it's like, those are my favorites. I'm just not letting it go. Like, no,
it's coming back.
It's coming back. It's we do retro. It's coming back,
right?
And so I wasn't trying to let it go, and shows you one when I wanted to make the switch from the server to another server. He's like, yeah, unfortunately, you can go. I say you can go, but the name stays home. Well, they said you can go, but the site stays home. So I wasn't able to take it with me. And so I lost everything. And it's like everything is like years and years. Like when you move into your house, you got years and years. You've been there for forever. So it's years and years of stuff that you've accumulated. And now it's time to move. And it's like, okay, what do I do with all that years and years of stuff? Like, where am I going to put it? Like, what am I going to do with it while it was gone? And I had to rebuild from scratch. So being able to rebuild from scratch really, really, really kind of, I don't know, it was a fresh win. And being a fresh win, it was like, okay, now like I said, I stepped back in time because I felt my nose down, my eyes down, like I just could eat, breathe, and sleep it. Like I remember those late nights, staying up all night trying to make this, get the site the way I want it. And that's how I feel. But this site hasn't been as complicated. Seem like it's been really easy. And I say, Lord, this is nobody but you. Because I'm not that smart. Nobody but you. Because it's been so easy to put together. And it's like, oh my gosh. So it's really, really been interesting for me because I feel like I'm back to where I used to be. Like my nose is down to the ground. Like I'm grinding. And it's like, I want to do it. But it's like, you don't have to do it as hard as you did before. Because it seemed like it's just been a little easier.
You got to think about that. There's been growth, experience between that. So, like, say you left from this older house and you moved into this new house, and the new house is set up a little bit differently from the old house. So now, okay, there's certain things that you may still want from the old house when you brought it over here, but now, Mom, you know what? This decor doesn't kind of match the house. I need to kind of change this around. By the time you just start to do a little here and a little bit there, before you know it, you're like, wait a minute, this is this is new, this is fresh. Yeah. And I think that's where it came from.
Yeah. And it kind of, I guess it couldn't have happened at a better time. It's the springtime. It's like I've done, got a whole new spring wardrobe.
Right.
New spring furniture.
Because a lot of times when we move from one place to another house, like, especially when you've been there for years, I'm using my own experience, and you've been there for years, and you're like, you got all these things that you had in your house and stuff. You're like, but when you have to pack it up and you have to move all that stuff, it's like, wait a minute, I'm not taking all this stuff, because once you have to pack it all, it's like, oh my goodness, wait a minute, where did this come from? Where did this come? Do I really need this? No, you know what? I'm tired now. Some of this stuff has got to go. I'm not taking all this stuff, because I haven't seen this in years. I had it in the box, so whatever the case may be. So I didn't miss it. It's nothing that I truly need, and so I'm not going to carry it into the new house. And then again, when you get to the new house, and like saying you're starting fresh, and you got so many different ideas and things that you've experiences that you've had throughout the course of these years, that now you're implementing them in there, and then you're saying, this is not the right decor for that. I need this. Not my house was white back then. Now I want some color in here. I want. There you go.
That's it. It's so crazy, because I remember when I was young, my mother used to, like, every season she would do something different in the house. She would change the furniture around.
That's
she
my
might
mother.
take down the curtains, and she would do the bathroom would be changed, stuff like it would be something different in the house, right? So I guess too, when I look and I think about what you're saying, and as it relates to this whole journey for me with because if you're just tuning in, we're kind of comparing the scenario of, I had to change the site from one server to another, in which case I couldn't take anything with me. It's like I had to leave and start fresh. And so it's really like taking those things that used to be on that site and trying to figure out, okay, how does it work for where we are now and what we are doing now, and how do I make it look? And so it's funny that we use that analogy, because it does remind you of being in a new place and everything looks clean. It looks modern. That was the comment that I got today. Oh, it looks so clean. It looks really fresh. And I was like, oh, okay, this is good. Because I tell you, it was it broke my heart to have to sit there and try to figure that out. Because in my mind, it's like, okay, you had all of this verbiage that was on that site. You had all of those pictures. You had all of this stuff, right? So it's like, gosh, that really broke my heart. But then now I had to think about how things have changed with the trends. How there has been some growth. There's some new stuff going on. Like, there's new pictures. I can't use those pictures from, remember back in the day, our parents, I know y'all are, I'm not dating myself, because I know y'all big mamas and aunties had the furniture with the plastic on it and the wooden spoons up on the wall. So I can't take that type of decor to a house that I just had built from the ground up, right? So, but that's kind of where it was. Like, I was taking all of these old pictures and all of this old verbiage that kind of really doesn't even fit where we are right now, and moving it to new space where it's like, okay, we in 2023. You're not in 70, 79, 80 or back on them days. Yeah. Things have changed. A lot of stuff has changed. So it's been an interesting experience, because as I've been building, it's like I'm learning a whole bunch of stuff in the process, right? Different ideas and looking at how things are trending and how things are growing and where the entrepreneur circles are moving today. So it's been really interesting. But to say the least, it's like I still want to keep my nose down, because I feel like it's so much to learn. Like, it's so much to learn. I get through the day, I might eat breakfast, but then I might not eat breakfast, because then before I know it, it's lunch. Today went so fast it made my head spin. But it's like, okay, I'm just gonna press pause right here, because when I get done the show, I'm gonna come right back and sit in front of him and get it. So it's been interesting, but I'm excited, because like I say, it's springtime, new stuff. Flowers are growing. Yeah. The things are blossoming. The sun is shining. It's not so gloomy and cloudy as much, but
the sun is staying up a little bit longer.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes,
ma'am. Now, I did see something about some snow nor'easters or something headed down 95. I did see that today.
I heard about something, but I didn't hear that it was going to be, any type of really accumulation.
Okay. Okay. Well, you get to my vote on that. I can deal with a little bit, as long as it's not a whole bunch of mess. But then, too, in all fairness, we haven't had any.
Not
and we really do need it, because it's all types of bugs and germs in the air. So, yeah. It's about time that we get something, maybe something not
too major now.
Right. But it's long over. I cannot see us getting to the spring. And the summer months
March has
something.
a way of giving us a little bit of giving us a little bit of everything in 1 month. So we're not quite out of the woods, as they say, not yet.
So I'm hearing it's almost time for a spring forward. Right. Somebody said it's this weekend, but I thought, well, doesn't it happen in spring, or do we get to spring forward before spring now?
I don't know. Don't make me a fibber.
Yeah, right. We have to Google that.
I know. I have to Google that one. I'm really not sure. I'm sure somebody out there knows for sure, but I don't want to say something I'm not quite sure of. But yeah, that going back a little bit, give me the extra time and getting up.
Yes, I'm on it. We ready to find out when
earlier. It.
Oh God, it's Sunday.
Oh.
So guess what, ladies and gentlemen? We're about to go to break, but guess what? You're going to lose an hour on Sunday, so don't forget to set your clocks. We'll be right back after this break.
You could listen to one of those other stations, but what would your friends think? You could listen to one of those other stations, But what would your friends think?
Bored with the traditional wedding, birthday, or special occasion celebrations? Do you feel like you just don't want all of the pressure of coordinating your own event? Do your friends all seem to become professional event planners for your memorable moments? Are you thinking of getting engaged and want a romantic way of doing it? Let us design it for you. Pictures are worth 1,000 words. Let our photographers help you to make a statement. Want to make an impression with a beautiful arrangement? Speak with our floral designers. Zeal Enterprises, an all-inclusive event management company that provides complete consulting and coordinating services for weddings, anniversaries, reunions, theme and birthday parties, festivals, conventions, and conferences. Our team of professionals are excited to work with you. Call today, 866-494-5945, or go online to www.zealbnr.com to begin designing your event. Remember, in everything you do, do it with zeal.
Beauty's in the eye. We complicate things when all along it's just perfect as it is. Beauty is from within. It's how you feel, not as how others see you. Skincare shouldn't be complicated. She's the Boss believes skincare should be nurturing, easy to use, smell delicious, feel refreshing, and look incredible. She's the Boss Cosmetics and Skincare brings you our botanical-based skincare line that's gentle, uncomplicated, and extremely effective for men, women, and youth. Feel confident and radiate a power glow that flows from the inside out. Exude an assurance that extends from the home into the conference room. Visit us at www.shes-the-boss.com or call us at 866-494-5945 to get yours today.
She's the boss. Radio Network.
Welcome back, everybody. So tonight we are talking about the unapologetic you, unapologetically you. That's a really, I see why it's a tough word to say, because it's a tough word. It's a tough thing to do. Sometimes, we get so caught up in being sorry. I'm sorry. I was telling Pam and I were just talking. I was like, that has been the theme for this week. I've watched movies, I've watched, different shows, and everybody's sorry. I'm sorry. Oh, I'm so sorry. I'm sorry. And I'm sorry. Like, okay, can we step back from that? Because I remember, I don't know if it was my grandmother, somebody once said to me before, it's like, stop saying I'm sorry. Those words are powerful. They really are. And I'm sorry. What does I'm sorry mean? A lot of people apologize. We say we're sorry for everything.
For everything, yeah. And there are times in our discussion as we were talking, there are times when you shouldn't. It's not always the best thing to say. I'm sorry, instead of you feel the way you feel, or you did something maybe somebody else didn't agree with what you were doing, but to say that you're sorry is not always the answer to what was said or what was done. There are times, like I said, when you say something to me or I say something to you and you meant what it is that you're saying to me. Unfortunately, maybe I didn't take it. It hurt my feelings. Truth was spoken, but it may hurt my feelings. And it's not that, you should say, I'm sorry. Because when you're saying I'm sorry, a lot of times it's like, I'm trying to take back what I said to you.
Right.
But in this case, what was said was truthful. Maybe I didn't, like I said, because I couldn't listen or hear it at that moment. You don't want to take that away, that maybe perhaps, that it wasn't meant for you to hurt you. We need to just change our words. What I said wasn't meant to hurt you. It's not that I'm saying I'm sorry. I'm just saying the words that I've said to you weren't meant to hurt you. These were meant to, the reason why I said what I said was to encourage you or to show you what it is that I see that probably needs to be strengthened, changed, or whatever the case may be. So again, like I said, I agree that we use sorry when it shouldn't be used. There are times when it shouldn't be used.
And then sometimes it's like we're we're always sorry for things that, like you just said, is like, okay, that I'm saying I'm sorry, but that's really how I felt. Or I'm saying I'm sorry, but that's really what I wanted to do. Or I'm saying I'm sorry. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So why do you even say
Is it
it?
a shortcut for us to use the word sorry instead of using our words to explain the reasoning
Right.
for what was done or
Right.
said?
Right. And are we saying we're sorry because you feel like that's what the other person want to hear? Or is it what the other person need to hear? Instead of saying, you know what, okay, let's talk about what I really did to you, right? I might have done something that really hurt you. I don't want to just say I'm sorry, because to me it doesn't really have value. The value isn't as heavy as probably it doesn't weigh as much as probably what I did to actually hurt you. You know what I'm saying? Like the value of it may not be as great as it is to what I really did to hurt
Yeah.
you. So okay, we're having a conversation about what I really did to hurt you, and I don't want to just say I'm sorry because that's the right thing to say. I want to say I'm sorry, or I apologize for doing whatever it was that I did to really, really hurt you. Is that a strong enough word? You know what I mean? Because it just seemed like this week I've heard it so many times. It's like, gosh, it was thrown around a whole lot. So it's like, okay, why use the word I'm sorry?
Use that word. Yeah, I agree. I think when sometimes, like say, we are so used to saying the word that it becomes just part of our vocabulary, and it, like I said, it cuts the conversation. But the problem is sometimes the conversation needs to be said and be and understood. And if you don't, if you put the sorry there, it kind of like a period. Sometimes it's kind of like a period. Okay, I'm sorry. And then, nothing a lot of times doesn't go behind it. Because the person isn't saying, if I say I'm sorry to you, it's almost like, again, I said, I'm sorry, period. And whatever that was going on, it's lost. We're going to forget it. But then again, by us having a discussion about it, like that, I can find out what it is that was said, done, that gave you the feelings that you had, or you, like I said, through that discussion, we can find out, what's a better approach for me to talk to you, because everybody cannot be talked to in the same manner. Like I said, some people are more sensitive, some people can take a little bit more. Again, we talked about that too, understanding whom you are talking with and whom you're talking or whom you're talking to. Like I said, because we know our friends, we don't always know, somebody else, and you say certain things, and then a coworker, even with a coworker, and you say certain things, and like I said, their feelings get hurt. And I see these things happen even on my job. I had a person come to me and say, somebody was saying XYZ to me. Do I come off that way to you? I said, no. Not. But again, because I don't take everything, so seriously. And the person that the person was talking about, everything was really more sensitive to that particular person. And of course, like I said, apologizing and saying, I'm sorry. But again, you just got by not taking the moment out and finding out and having, like I said, we're not talking about we're going to debate and we're going to have, having a little discussion and say, not that I'm apologizing to you. I am, like I said, the thing is that I need to know how to come to you, or I need to know what it is that was said that or was done that caused you to feel the way you did. And then you can realize, okay, what was said or done that you took as something, that hurt your feelings, or then you can look at it and examine it. But if we don't examine on both ends,
right,
and we just cut it off by saying, I'm sorry,
right,
neither person or neither party would ever get to another level of communication or another level of, like saying a compromise, whatever the case may be, that'll get us further than just, I'm sorry.
Because honestly, if okay, so I did something to you and I just say, okay, I'm sorry. But I'm not.
Sometimes people say I'm sorry and they don't even know what they're sorry. That's again just what you're saying. It's not. I don't even know what I'm really sorry about.
I'm just saying I'm sorry because whatever it is, it bothered you. So it's not. Is it really being sincere though? You know what I mean? And by just saying that, because I know that's what you want me to say. I know that's what you want me to hear.
But like I said,
I'm
sorry. Sometimes it's like a period, you know, and it's just, you know, it doesn't go any further. It doesn't go to the point of why, or you know, how come you felt that way, or you know, what made you say this to me, or what made you do that to me, or you know, like I said, the real reason most people want is to know. So why did you say that to me? What made you think you could say that to me, or how come you said it in that tone, or and then. Like I said, I could say, well, it was the tone, your tone, you know, the way you said it. It was like you were attacking me. That's how I felt. So should I be sorry because that's how I felt? No, I'm not sorry because that's how I felt. Right. I'm just letting you know it was the tone. Then you can come back and say, oh, I'm sorry. You know, I'm not sorry, but okay, I understand. Now I understand. I won't approach you in that manner.
Right.
You know, like I said, it wasn't what I said. It's how I said it. So now you know, okay, with Pam, I can't come to her in this tone, but if she'll receive it if I come to her in this particular tone, so that she can hear what it is that I'm saying, then her feelings aren't hurt. But I mean, this goes not only for, I think, you know, like I said, what we say is in the things that we do, but we need to know from each other when we learn from each other. So we're not always saying, I'm sorry, I'm sorry, I'm sorry, I'm sorry. Right. And we learn from each other. Both sides get to learn something about the situation that's happening and how to handle the situation at that moment. And then if it comes up again, how we want to attack it at that moment when it comes back again. Because a lot of times things happen.
Yeah, that's true. But if you have an understanding, though,
if you got that understanding,
then a lot of times it doesn't, because I already know that, you know, if I go to you this way, then this is going to be the outcome of that situation. Or if you come to me that way, or we going back and forth, we already know what the outcome, because we've been down this road before. We already know. But just as you said, if you're having a clear conversation about why you feel as though I should be sorry, or why I feel as though they need to tell you that I'm sorry. We already know what we know what it is. You know, we know what the meeting point is. And I've heard it said that when someone is looking for that sorry, it's more so for them. The sorry is for you. It's not for me, because more than likely, whatever was said, whatever was done, unless it was an absolute mistake. Yeah. And typically when it's a mistake, we don't usually, it's like, oh, I apologize, that was a mistake. But then there's still that open communication. Oh, I'm sorry, it was a mistake. But then there's still that open communication. Say, oh, that genuinely was a mistake.
But you can tell the difference between somebody coming to you in a malice type of way, you know, like that, you know. But in this conversation, I'm more so speaking of somebody that you know. And because a lot of times when we get approached, it is more so from someone we know. Yeah.
Usually when it's most effective,
right?
Yes,
right.
Somebody that we know.
Somebody else, you know, that we don't know. A lot of times, kind of blow them off. I don't know them, so they don't know me. I don't know them, but something like that. But when it comes to, like I said, you know, we have some type of a relationship.
Really sensitive,
that's really sensitive. But I think, like I said, we are missing our conversation, and we are missing our opportunity to find out, you know, what caused whatever the emotion is, or by not going deeper. You know, and even if a person says, "Look, I just don't want to talk about it at this moment." Okay, I got you. You know, like that, but I like to come back and we're going to, you know, discuss it later, because some people,
so like I said, won't happen again.
So I'm trying to make sure that we prevent this from happening again. I'm not saying I'm sorry, but I'm going to try to prevent this so I'll come to you in the right manner.
We're gonna continue our conversation. We're gonna go into our next break of the evening, but when we come back, we're gonna, Pam, hold that thought. Don't lose it. Tonight we're talking about being unapologetically you. Like, why do you always feel the need to say, I'm sorry? We'll be right back after this break.
We don't break the laws. We just make up our own. The internet's best choice for music.
Beauty's in the eye. We complicate things when all along it's just perfect as it is. Beauty is from within. It's how you feel, not as how others see you. Skincare shouldn't be complicated. She's the Boss believes skincare should be nurturing, easy to use, smell delicious, feel refreshing, and look incredible. She's the Boss Cosmetics and Skincare brings you our botanical-based skincare line that's gentle, uncomplicated, and extremely effective for men, women, and youth. Feel confident and radiate a power glow that flows from the inside out. Exude an assurance that extends from the home into the conference room. Visit us at www.shes-the-boss.com or call us at 866-494-5945 to get yours today.
Yeah, that's the sound of today's business community. It's a dog-eat-dog world and only the strong survive. The challenge is navigating the ever-changing business environment to put your business in the forefront. So how does your business keep up with the changes? That's where She's the Boss Network comes in. She's the Boss Network is an internet media network that's been helping businesses like yours get the exposure that you're looking for at reasonable cost by way of radio and video. They'll help you stay successful by navigating change and seeing the big picture. After She's the Boss Network analyzes your business and marketing strategies, you'll start to see a media presence like you've never seen in your business before. And She's the Boss Network doesn't stop there. They use their findings to create a practical plan of action, a plan that will get your business from where you are to where you need to be. There you go. Lock those dogs up for good by giving She's the Boss Network a call at 866-494-5945, extension 101, or by checking their website at shesthebossradio.com. Again, that's 866-494-5945, extension 101, or shesthebossradio.com.
You could listen to one of those other stations, but what would your friends think? You could listen to one of those other stations, but what would your friends think? She's the boss. Radio Network.
Good evening, everyone. Tonight we are getting unboxed, being or having a conversation about the unapologetic you. Why is it that we always feel a need to apologize? Why are we always sorry? And so it's funny because, like I said before the break, I've heard it said that the apologies are more so for the other person. Because I may feel like I didn't do anything wrong. I said what I said. I did what I did. I don't feel like I did anything wrong. And Pam made a very valid point that it's a conversation that needs to be had. Maybe not always just hearing the sorry. But I wonder why when you say I'm sorry to someone, it's such an emotional situation. You get tears flying, and you get that ugly cry sometimes when somebody say I'm sorry. And I wonder why is it that word carries so much weight.
I think what we need to do, like I said, is maybe we need to change our vocabulary. Instead of saying the sorry. When you normally ask somebody, instead of saying I'm sorry, and I'm not telling you to ask somebody for forgiveness. If you ask somebody for forgiveness, it's there's a reasoning that you're asking for forgiveness. When you ask them, just say I'm sorry, it's like I said, to me, I always look at it as that's the end of this conversation. But usually when you say please forgive me, I came at you wrong, it means that there's a conversation that's been had. There's a you understand where I came from, and I understand where you came from. Right. I'm thinking about this particular show, okay? In this particular show, and I'm not even the name of the show, there was two good friends, and they were like, brothers. That's how the one described their relationship. And they were in this club, and what happened was some firing, not in the club, but they heard shooting. Okay. And because of the closeness of them, they took off, so they kind of got separated. The one who had driven, he got in his car and kept going and left the other guy by himself. So he's looking for him. Once he got out, he tried to call him, the one that had the car, and he couldn't get a hold of him. Didn't answer. The next day, he still didn't call him. So of course his feelings were hurt because, wow, I looked at you as a brother. A shooting occurs. You don't know if I'm dead or alive. You didn't call me. I'm trying to call you, but then the guy was saying, "Well, my phone was dead, so that's why I didn't, I couldn't call. I didn't pick up your line because
the show
Then he comes Then he comes back to say, "Okay, well, how come you didn't try to find out what's happening the next day? I'm sure you had a charger somewhere where you could charge your phone up, and you never asked about me. You never inquired about me." So he was saying, "Okay, I'm sorry." Well, that's that's not what he needed. Sorry wasn't it. He needed to know, why would you leave me?
Right.
Here we are. I see you as a brother, not just a friend, but as family, as a brother. And then I see that you would just up and leave me, and gone with no explanation. You didn't check on me the next day. Yet the guy who left him felt sorry. He felt deeply sorry. You could see it in his face and stuff, that it did. But he didn't know how to, he never expressed it. Once they came to the understanding and they expressed how he felt being left and how he felt when he left him, like that, then he could say, "Now, forgive me for doing what I did to you. Now I see what, I see your how you felt, because you're telling me. Now I understand how you felt. Now you understand, how, like I said, in that midst of that, what was going on, I left. I knew I was wrong. I didn't know how to come back to you and talk to you because of the guilt that I felt. He understood, because I'm talking about the one who was left behind. He understood because there was a shooting going on and they were separated. He, like I said, in all the midst of this craziness, was not like he's telling them he came to look for him, but he never found them, and still stuff going on, and he got out of there. But again, it's because a conversation happened, and otherwise, at first it was just, "I'm sorry."
Right. Right.
You know what I'm saying? That was the first. That's how it started off, until it was, they had a mediator. I'm going to put it, because it was, like I said, it was a television show, so that's what, there was a mediator there. Okay. But until the discussion happened, until they started to tell each other what was going on at that time that this was occurring, then the other could see what was going on with the other one. Then the other one could accept the affirmation of how he felt in an apologetic way. But otherwise, when you're just using just that word, it to me, it has no real value until it is, like I said, until you have an understanding what your sorry is about.
Right. So let me ask you this. What do you think it is? Like, okay, I've heard it said where someone will say, I'm sorry, but this is how I felt. I'm sorry, but this is what I said, because in my heart of hearts said, so to me, why are you sorry? Like, I'm sorry, but this is how I felt. Or, I said this and this, but, I'm sorry to you, but that's what you really felt. That's what you really was thinking. So why are you sorry? Now, granted, like you said, conversations need to be had, because what I'm saying to you it probably is affecting you. It's probably hurting you. But this is how I feel. So why should I say, well, I'm sorry? I'm not, because this is how I feel. This is what I'm feeling at that time. You may not like it, and it may affect you in some certain type of way. But why should I tell you that I'm sorry? Why should I say to anybody that I'm sorry if it's something that I don't feel sorry for it. I'm just telling you and aren't I kind of lying to you? Because I'm just telling you I'm sorry because that's what you want to hear. I don't mean it because it's not what I felt and it's not what I'm feeling at the time.
I think, like I said, we need to understand each other. Like I say, why you feel the way you feel and why I feel the way I feel. And once we understand why you feel the way you feel and I feel the way I feel, again, we have to kind of come to that, now I get why. Like I said, if you don't it's almost like connecting the dots. If you don't connect the dots, there's a gap there. And what's going to do, anytime there's a gap, something falls into that gap. It's not resolved. But if there's a line there, that means you can go across it. I'm going to use that as a bridge. There's a bridge because now there's a connection between I understand what you're feeling, you understand the way I'm feeling, and then because we understand the feelings of each other, then we can draw a line and connect. We connect in the center. But if we just leave it open, there's that gap, and everything will fall into that gap. Now, when there are certain conversations we might would have had prior, if we had drawn the line and had that communication with one another, so come to an understanding. An understanding doesn't always mean you're going to get your way, I'm going to get my way. Right. It's not like that. It's understanding at times going to just give you the ability, the knowledge, some understanding as to an insight to somebody.
I might not agree with it, but
you don't have to always agree with it. I say sometimes, like I said, it may give you an understanding, like, oh, okay, now I can come to this person because I know this person is real and they'll give me the truth. Women, this person is, and maybe I need to, this is how they think, this is how, and that's not how, and I might have to break the relationship. But again, that's that communication part there. So like I said, it's not going to always be where we both are on the same page, but it gives us both an understanding of how the other person is feeling, how the other person's, like I said, none of us really want to say, you don't understand. You don't understand how I feel. No, okay. Tell me how you feel.
Right,
so I don't. We just said, but then you have to also give me the same courtesy as to why I feel the way I feel. Like I said, it's not always, you're going to accept what I feel. We all grew up, like I said, we didn't all grow up in the same house. Right. Even if you grew up in the same household, if you got sisters and brothers or any siblings or anyone who's grown up in the house and you know that on this particular day, this is what happened. And you say, oh man, it was the greatest day of all days we did. And somebody else said, that was the worst day. I was not. And you're like, where were you? Wait a minute, where were you at the same place? At the same. And, again, it's just that, like I said, we have to start, opening ourselves up to understanding or at least trying to, be empathetic to somebody else's feelings.
That's it right there. That's the word, empathy. Like that is it right there. Yeah. That's it. That's all. Because a lot of times we're not. And I know we're getting ready to come up on our final break of the evening, but I think, and maybe I'm wrong, but as a woman, I'm going to say, a woman and a mother, sometimes we tend to be sorry for certain things, and we really shouldn't. I say that because we're getting ready to go into a break, and when we come back, I really want to kind of touch a little bit more on that. As women and moms, sometimes we are so quick to be sorry for certain things, but when you step back and look at it, it's like, girl, what you sorry for that for? You shouldn't be sorry for that. But we're taking our last break of the evening. And when we come back, we're going to talk a little bit about that sorry word as it relates to being a mom and a woman. We'll be right back after this break.
You could listen to one of those other stations, but what would your friends think? You could listen to one of those other stations, but what would your friends think?
Hey, I'm Jenny James for Neatly Done Carpet Cleaner. You've probably been home a lot more. Maybe you have kids like me who spill all the time, and you've noticed that your carpet's not looking so good. Why don't you call Neatly Done Carpet Cleaner? They use a dry extraction service, so you won't have wet carpet all day long, and you can get back to doing the things you love with your family immediately. And it's a way to make your room healthier while improving your indoor air quality. You can do tile, slate, granite, ceramic, area rugs, and yes, they're pet friendly too. Why don't you get a free, no obligation estimate today? NeatlyDoneSanAntonio.com.
Beauty's in the eye. We complicate things when all along it's just perfect as it is. Beauty is from within. It's how you feel, not as how others see you. Skincare shouldn't be complicated. She's the Boss believes skincare should be nurturing, easy to use, smell delicious, feel refreshing, and look incredible. She's the Boss Cosmetics and Skincare brings you our botanical-based skincare line that's gentle, uncomplicated, and extremely effective for men, women, and youth. Feel confident and radiate a power glow that flows from the inside out. Exude an assurance that extends from the home into the conference room. Visit us at www.shes-the-boss.com or call us at 866-494-5945 to get yours today.
She's the boss. Radio Network.
Welcome back, everybody. We are getting unboxed tonight, talking about the unapologetic you. Like, that's why that word is so hard. It's a tongue twister, because it is a tongue twister. Having to say I'm sorry and having to have a real discussion as to why you're sorry sometimes can be a tongue twister, because we don't want to address the real. We don't want to deal with the real issue, whatever that real the core is. We want to dance around it. We want the scab to grow over top of what the actual wound.
I think that's true.
It is. And so before we went to break, I was saying to Pam, my question is, why is women, we feel the need to always, women and mothers, we always feel the need to say, and I'm going to say women and mothers because I'm not a man, so I can't say, rarely do you, okay, I'm just going to press pause because I was going to say, rarely do you hear men say, I'm sorry, but okay, it's an emotional word. But so as women though, it's like we're quick to say, women and mothers, we're quick to say, oh girl, I'm sorry. You know, I went out and I did something for myself today. I went to the spa today. I'm sorry, child. I went to the spa. I went and bought something for myself today. I'm sorry. Why? Why are you sorry? Why do you feel the need to say I'm sorry? Because you did those things. And who are you apologizing to? You know, self-care, as we say all the time, is very important. Who are you apologizing to because you went to the spa? And something you said was the perfect response to this. Did the kids still eat? Do you still have a roof over your head? Is the light still on? Okay, if all of that is a positive factor right now, please tell me, who are you apologizing to and what are you apologizing for? That you're going to be stressless and you're going to be a little kind to the family because you didn't had a massage. Like, right? So are you apologizing to the family in advance that, you know, I'm walking around here smiling and singing? Like, is that what we're apologizing for? And why do we feel the need to do that? And there's a lot of times that we do. Like, it's like we feel the need to do that. And I'm just kind of wondering why. Why? Like, why do you feel the need to say, girl, I'm sorry, but that's how I felt. I wanted to call such and such and have a conversation with them, but I'm sorry because I did it and it just made me, okay, you felt better, right? That's when you got it off your chest, right? So, again, who are you apologizing to and what are you apologizing for? Yeah, it's crazy because, like you said, to me, I feel like the word doesn't. It's like the dollar now today. It doesn't hold value anymore because we are so easy and free to say it without addressing whatever the real issue is at hand. To me, I'd rather you say to me, I'm not gonna say to you, I'm sorry, but I you know, if something I said or I done, and I say this to you too, if it's something that I did or I said to you that caused a negative emotion or that hurt you or made you feel a certain type of way, let's talk about it, because by no means do I want to do anything purposely
correct
to do that. To me, that conversation holds way more value to it should hold more value, because now I'm sitting here and I'm really, having a conversation with you, and I'm saying to you, yes, I'm agreeing with you. I might have did something or said something, but I didn't know it. It was never done
Right,
on
and-
purpose.
right.
But at least now I'm not gonna sit up and say I'm sorry, because to me, but let's talk about whatever it is you said that you're feeling the way that if I did something to you, because now it's like, oh, okay, yeah,
that's
I would
what I'm
never
saying.
wanna,
We don't address anything. We tend to not address things when we keep saying the word. If we're continuously saying, "I'm sorry, I'm sorry, I'm sorry, I'm sorry, I'm sorry,"
because you know what, Pam, not to cut you off, but every time I heard that word this week, I didn't hear anybody come through with a follow up to say, but
yeah,
or what. It was no follow up. It was just,
Mhm.
I mean, tears running too, not
Right.
crying, but it's like, okay, but
Uh-huh.
because now it's gonna happen again, right?
That's
'Cause
what
we
I'm
didn't
saying.
get to the
Like I
real
said, and
core.
it just reminded me of, like I said, when I was talking about that story, because like I said, the guy said that he was sorry way earlier in the program, but like I said, the other person, like I said, who felt like they were brothers, couldn't, he was looking for a lot more, and here all he was saying was sorry and nothing behind it. Until the conversation was made and a connection was made between how you felt and what the danger you felt, like I said too, I looked for you and I couldn't find you. I felt like I was in danger as well. And I did get out of there. And, like I said, and then when I got out there, I felt, that this hurt inside because I couldn't find you. And now, I didn't know what to do afterwards. And like I said, because
Right.
the things happen that sometimes that you have so many emotions going on
Yeah.
at that time.
Yeah.
And like I said, we don't know, what a person can do when they're in fear.
So true.
Yeah, some people, like I said, they
Right.
go
Or
into this
flight.
mode and
Yep.
flight. They're gone.
Yeah.
Then some people get into the mode like saying, "Okay, I'm
they
a
froze.
protector."
Yeah.
They're free. Somebody's
Yeah.
a protector. Somebody
Yeah.
else is
Yeah.
God. I'm gone.
Yeah.
I mean, so again, we all don't respond in the same way until I think, like I said, the two learned. Okay, this is what happens. This is what happened in this situation. Then they could understand the other. Not saying that he approved of it. No, because I didn't. I didn't do that. So my thoughts at the time were, why would you do that to me? And then, like I said, when he explained himself, when the conversation was had, and he explained what happened and what he felt, and then the person who was hurt by the fact that he was gone, he took flight and left him. I know that's not funny, but he could get a better sense and understanding of, okay, now I get it. Not happy with it, but I get it. He didn't intentionally just try to leave me out there. Like I said, no, there was this, like I said, of course, he has to come to the point of forgiving both him from doing what he did to him, as far as so their relationship can go further. But again, there's a connection and communication as to what happened. Now I get what happened. It wasn't that you just left me. Just like I said, there was things going on you that caused you to do what you did.
So now it's like, okay, when somebody says to me, "Oh, I'm sorry," my response is going to be, for what? Because I really need to understand. You're telling me you're sorry, but you're sorry for what? Because now I need to understand that like we need to know. I need to know.
You could be saying sorry for the wrong thing.
Right. I'm sorry, but what you sorry for?
Yeah.
Right.
Oh, I'm sorry. You wanted the blue purse, and I bought you a purple purse. No,
right. But purple is my color. I like purple. So what you sorry for?
That we right. That wasn't the problem that you bought me the purple purse. The problem is this.
Yeah.
And again, that's another thing about being able to have a conversation is you find out what it is that's really the problem. It wasn't the color of the purse, but it was this particular thing that happened.
Yeah, because you said, "I'm sorry." Well, what you sorry for? Yeah. Let's get to the real core of what you think it is, because it may not be so far off as to what you actually think it is.
Yeah,
It
and
may
like,
not
like I
be.
said, I'm sure I've used the word sorry at times and stuff. I think just have to be more mindful of
Like you said, we
what it is.
we will
'Cause
throw words
we'll throw
out.
the word out so much, and it becomes like a part of the language. It's kind of like that filler when I'm using the word like
Yeah.
that instead of the we're using the word sorry, sorry,
Girl, yes.
sorry.
Yes.
Like.
Yeah, it's like I've
It's
heard,
just a
I've
filler.
heard it so
It
much.
become a
It's like,
filler.
okay, why do I keep hearing this? It's been all week long. Like I just been hearing it. It's like, oh my gosh, this is crazy. So I'm glad that we had this conversation because it does give you food for thought. It's like, okay, the next time you're so quick to tell that person, let's have a conversation about it before I jump out there and say, because sometimes, like I said, it's pointless or meaningless, not pointless, but meaningless at times because I might be saying it and that's just so that we can get like Pam said, that period to shut the whole thing
Shut
down.
the thing right on
Just
down.
be done with it.
We're done.
Yeah. So that's important. Next week we're gonna have a special guest. We're gonna be bringing a young lady to you all. She has a very interesting backstory. And so we're gonna have a special guest here next week. And I think the topic is knowing thyself. I think that's what it is. And I'm really excited to hear that because, like I said, we talked about sorry and what are those things that trigger certain emotions in you. And really, I think at some point, those are conversations that we need to have with ourselves more so than because
why
I
do
don't
we
know,
do what we
I don't
do,
know what hurts you. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
I may do something, but I don't know what hurts you, and I don't know what your backstory is that could cause those pains, right? So I'm excited to have a conversation with her. I actually met her a few weeks ago at an event that we did, and it was funny because we were having a conversation, and she was saying to me the things that she want to do. She's like, I want to do this. I want to travel. I want to be a speaker. And she's an author. And I said to her, I said, well, she says, I want to do some speaking and speaking engagements. I want to talk to people and tell people about, my journey and all the things that she's experienced. And I said, well, you're an author, right? And she says, yes. I said, you published a book, right? Awesome, beautiful book, really put together, very nice. She's like, yeah. I said, well, you already doing it.
Yeah.
She's like, oh my gosh, you're so right. I have to change. And again, we have to change the way we think and the things that we say. Use our words on purpose.
Yeah.
On purpose, right? Do these things on purpose.
Do we do it now? And I guess, and I'm going to, wondering, because we text so much and because we, like I said, our conversations are short. We we use so many different things that we don't use the language like we used to use it.
We don't. They making up words, Pam.
Yeah, correct.
That's
everything is short and condensed.
Right. Exactly.
And therefore, like I said, you don't get the full effect of what it is that the other person is saying, or what that or what you do, how it affects somebody else without a conversation. Because the short, condensed version is not always going to do it for you.
That's true. You're right. That's a whole different story that's a whole different show topic by itself. How the English vocabulary is just, it's crazy. It's like some of that stuff I gotta Google. What is that? That's not even a word. I've never heard that before. So you're right, and it's crazy because we want to use those words, and words have power.
Absolutely,
words
does.
carry a lot of weight. Like I said, the word "sorry" has lost its value. It's like it carries a lot of weight. So I agree with you, Pam. We got to get back to where we used to be. So. Thank you all again for tuning in. It's hard to get back to the basics. Don't nobody want to go back. They think this is the new technology. We got to go forward with everything. We going to be lost. Heaven forbid. Thank you all again for tuning into the show. As always, we enjoy spending time with all of our boss because every one of you, whether you want to admit it or not, you run a business of some kind, be it in the home, the conference room, your apartment, or in the community. Please tune into the show every Thursday from 7 to 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. We enjoy hearing from you. Please email us at info@She'sTheBossRadio if you want to connect, you want to be a guest on the show, or you have a show topic. Or you can go out to our social media page on Facebook, We are She's the Boss Radio. Twitter, we are She's the Boss Radio without the O. If you go out to she'sthebossradio.com, you can see the many platforms we are on now. We are on so many. Don't forget, you do not have to register. Everything is free here to tune in. We want you to be able to listen to the vision. We want to be able to bring it to you from all over. Have no reason to not be able to tune in. Absolutely. And so next week, hey, stay warm, stay dry. Hopefully there'll be no snow, no nor'easters. Until next week, God bless.
She's the boss. Radio Network.